Hello and happy Tuesday. I've got Weston with me today, and Weston wants to show you his toys he's playing with today. Oops, okay, gonna hold them up. We've got, who's that? Chase. Is that Chase? Yep, and Chase's friend, the dinosaur. All right. Okay, are you gonna go play now? Okay, so he's over for a little bit, and I always think it's fun if he can pop on and say hello to everyone. So,
Chase.
Yes, but I've got a card for you. It's not all about fun and games with Weston today, and I'm kicking off my April set of 10, and as I do in the past. Hi there, Arlene and Kay. I'm going through my list. No, you're funny. I'm going through my list of things that are retiring. So as I pull out my last chance list, what I do is go through things that have been popular with you guys and go, let's make a card out of that. So those of you that have it have one last idea. I think it's always great to know what's going, to be retiring and then to see an idea with it. So here is the card that I'm choosing today. Way to Goat is the stamp set. And so do you like the goat? Yeah, Weston thinks the goat's cute. So that is one of the retiring stamp sets. And those silly little tin cans there. I'm gonna turn the camera around. Hi there, Kay. Thanks, Kay. Yeah, I think he's pretty cute. He got a new haircut, so I think then we can see his pretty blue eyes. All right, he's gonna go play, and I'm going to flip the camera around so that you can see the card here better. There we go. Okay. Oops, I don't want to get it too close up. Oh, as I flip it around, usually I kind of aim towards that. I don't have the April stamp camp code posted there yet. Yep, Pam, he is a joy. Him and his sister love them to pieces. So I don't have the card, the code here. I just noticed that now, but I will post that with the still shot of the camera when I'm done, and I'll have it ready for tomorrow. Okay, you're the goat, greatest of all time. So there's a couple different goats that I wanted to use. Like I couldn't decide between this goat and that goat, and I kind of eliminated that one. So I thought, well, I'll show the sample with this one. I'll make the card for you guys using this one and kind of go from there. So yes, Linda, it's very rare that I see your name pop up right away. So I'm glad that that happened. And hello, Carol. This is wonderful. All right. So that, like I said, this is your last chance to get the stamp set Way to Goat. And it's from the annual catalog that is retiring. So this will be done in about a month, guys. And on page 64, that's where you'll see that there aren't any dies, so I am fussy cutting the goats out for the card and things like that. And then the paper that I'm using, I always like to highlight, that's in the back. So part of the host offerings there, so that's where that's coming from. And I wanted something to go with my Granny Apple Green card base, and then I kind of add a little bit of extra texture with the stitched embossing, stitched die cut. And so I thought, oh, there's some Granny Apple Green in with that fun offering of host paper that way. So that's where that little piece is coming from. So I'm gonna set those things aside. And then I can start on my card for you guys. So there'll be some coloring. So it's always fun when I'm coloring and Pam's name shows up because she loves to see different coloring techniques. All right. So I think what I'm going to do first is, let's do the die cutting and get that out of the way. So let me pull out my machine here, and I always, like this whole month, I will be like, hey, this is retiring, this isn't retiring, to give you guys some ideas and help you out with decisions and such, with things that you can wait on or can't live without type things. So these basic borders dies, I'm actually using 2 of them. So this one I've always used, and it's going to be the bottom part of the card here. It kind of looks like green bushes or something, I thought, in a fun way. I've always used it as clouds, either in white or blue or something. And then this just is like just a really gradual landscape shape. And then that is going to be this right here. So that's the two that I'm going to use. And then there's other ones that are also featured, but this is not retiring. So I like to just let you know. Hey there, Lisa. Thanks for joining in. Okay, so I'm going to take just the Granny Apple Green one and die cut that out first and kind of put it at a little bit of an angle because I want it to kind of go down a little bit like so. So I'll put that in. My piece here is about 2 inches by 4 1/4 inches. So I've got that going across, and then this I'm just going to toss, and then what is left, like I said, has that nice little stitch border to it. Plus, most of the time, like I said, I use it for clouds, but I am using it this time to make it look like bushes. All right, so then I'll bring this back and whoops, switch out my borders here to just kind of do that sloping angle there. Just that gradual little look there. And so this is 2 inches by 4 1/4. So, and those 2 inches on both of those pieces can be approximate. It's just the 4 1/4 across here that you want to cover the front of your card. Hi there, Julie. So we've got that, and I can set that aside because that's all I'm going to be using for die cuts and such. And then next I'm going to just pull out a little chunk of cardstock here and ink up. I used this goat on my sample, so I'm going to use my other goat to show you guys just another variation of the card. So we've got that goat on there like so. And then for the card, I'm also going to need a couple little cans here, tin cans that goats like to chew up. So there we've got that. And then like magic, for those just joining, my grandson's in here, so if you hear little snorts or noises, that's him. Okay, so like magic, I have cut these pieces out to save time because I figured you didn't want to see me do that or take the time to do that. So we've got those, but what I am going to show you is how to color these in. So the colors that I have here is the light cinnamon cider. This is retiring, so keep in mind cinnamon cider is one of the retiring colors, and then I've got the smoky slate colors here too. So I'm just going to get my camera down a little bit more so that you guys can see it. So I'm going to bring this in. Actually, I might just start with my tin cans here because that's going to go really fast. So I'm going to start with the darker of the smoky slate. Oops. And I'm just going to color in on the top, bottom, and outline the sides and just kind of highlight the little circle bit in the lid of the can. So top, bottom, side. And then we have that. And then I'm going to switch to the light smoky slate. Just kind of fill in that rest of that center like so and swirl around the can lid like that. And within very short amount of time, we have 2 little tin cans there. How fun is that? Hi, Jerry. It's good to see you on here. All right. And now I'm going to back up to that darker of my smoky slate, and I'm just going to kind of go over the ears here, and then these are kind of jig-jaggedy fuzzy edges of the goat fur, so I've got that I'm just going to kind of trace around. The legs, I think it's just almost easier if I color those fully in. I'm just going to kind of keep going around the outside with the darker. It's not really tough coloring. It's just a matter of outlining with the dark and then coloring in with the light. So I'll just keep going around, and in no time at all we'll have this guy all filled in. I'm gonna just color all of the tail in there like that and like that, and anywhere there's extra like shading that the Stampin' Up! Artist put in, I'm just going to go over that. And then the eyes I'm going to highlight by going over that fully, that one off to the side, and then this one there like so. Just kind of outline that. And then that's all done. And then I can just take the light smoky slate now and just fill in the rest of it. And like I said, this goes fast because I kind of like to pull from the edges where the dark is, and that's where you get the nice blending to make it look really realistic by blending those colors together. And that way there's no really sudden light and dark lines. And that's what we love about these blends. So that comes together really quick. And then the only reason I have my cinnamon cider out is just to add a little pop of different color to the horns there. Is that what they're called? I didn't grow up with goats, so I'm not sure, but I think adding those little horns on there in brown is a good thing. Weston likes it too. Okay, so then I'm going to bring over my pieces, and then we can start building on this card. And to do that, let me grab some scrap paper. I love my Stampin' Blends. You guys, I just got back from a long weekend at the Okoboji Craft Retreat, and just getting to spend a big chunk of time crafting. And every time I pulled out my blends, it's like I just got excited to create backgrounds. So what, let me show you kind of the thought of this. So, oops, let me pop this back up so that you can see a better image of my complete desktop. There we go. Got that kind of. So this card base opens like this, and then I've got the usual like that would go on the inside, but this is going to go on the outside. I'm going to use one for each. 4 inches by 5 1/4. And so this being centered, I know that these 2 pieces that I die cut are going to go at the very bottom to kind of build that landscape like this. So I'm going to eye this area in the middle to put down some landscape with my blending brushes, starting with the Granny Apple Green. So the Granny Apple Green, I'm just going to counterclockwise swirl this. I just had somebody when I was at the retreat send me a message like, how do you do that again? And so I usually start a little bit even off my paper so I don't get any big blobs of green. I don't know if I had something wet on my paper there, but that's why I did get a big blob of green, but that'll be okay. And I just kind of swirl that around like so in the middle. And that I kind of got some lighter and darker areas. Sometimes I try and go really light and subtle, but I wanted the goat to kind of have more of a textured background for a textured goat. Next, I'm going to do that same thing with Balmy Blue and a different Balmy Blue and a different blending brush here. That same thing, kind of start off the paper and just kind of press that color into my white, and then as I push down harder, that's where I'm getting kind of those other swirls in there to give it a fun look. And you can see as they combine there, you can see a little bit of the blue and the green going together. And that's all there is to it. The blending brushes are so easy to use, and it adds so much. So next I can just build up my card and complete it by assembling it, which is going to go really fast. So I'm going to pull this over here and add that. I don't want to get any ink in case there's some on my fingers. I don't want to smear it there. And then I'm going to take these 2 pieces that I've die cut here, get some on the edges like that. And what I kind of do before I put it on my card is go, okay, this is how much of this I want to show and how much of this I want to show. So I kind of attach this to that, and then I can pick it up, and I'm going to put it all the way down on the bottom of my card, and oops, have it just a little bit crooked. No. And then there we go. So now it's lined up really well. Okay, so we've got that. So we have all those textures in there to build that up. Thanks, Pam. Yeah, really simple idea. Just using a couple colors and such. Now this I want to pop up, so I'm going to grab some dimensionals for that goat, and I'm going to put about 1, 2, 3 dimensionals, I think, on this guy, and we're going to have that so it looks like pretty much like that goat's dancing there on the horizon. And because these tin cans are pretty small, then I reach for my mini dimensionals, which are just a lot smaller version, and I'm going to need 2 of those little minis, and I'm going to put that on each of my little tin cans. I think these little tin cans are just so cute. I don't know why. If those of you that grew up with like those sticky color forms, it just kind of reminds me of a cute little accessory that you would have like with the color form dolls and such. And I'm gonna put these on the horizon, but kind of make them look like they're a little bit here and there, like they're tipping, because like if the goat has chewed them up, then it's probably going to be that they're not sitting exactly perfect. And now we can add our sentiment. So with that, just gonna tap on the "You're the Goat," which I think is such a fun sentiment. Goat, greatest of all time. So just with some black ink, it's going to really pop because those blending brushes make such a light background. Hi Pam, thanks for joining in. Now for the inside, I'm going to just do a little bit of follow through on some white cardstock there, 4 by 5 1/4. And on that, I'm going to follow through with the goat theme and put "Happy Birthday, You Old Goat." How fun is that? And I'm going to do another little tin can down here. And then I'm going to pull in one new image, and that is just that little scribble that is supposed to be grass. I'll tap that on my Granny Apple Green. And now we have that down in the corner, "Happy Birthday, You Old Goat," and plenty of room to write something personalized from you in the card. So, you know what? Now that I open this up, it's still kind of crooked. I'll fix that maybe later. Okay, I don't want to tear it apart on camera because I can be much more careful and slow about it on my own time. All right, so this I'm just going to get some adhesive on, take that and seal that in like so. So we have that, and I'm not going to add any embellishments because I just couldn't think of too many things. I didn't want it to be too sparkly because this could be for guys or gals and such, so that works out great for that. And I didn't want to take away from the different textures that I already had going by adding embellishment. So it's just going to be plain like that with the colors and papers kind of stealing the show there. And then a nice little inside there for you guys. And then for those of you tuning in a little bit later, hi there Lois, hi Cindy. This is the same card that was my sample using the other goat. So this goat's like not really sure. This goat kind of looks like it's annoyed that it's its birthday or something. But I thought, okay, just to give you a little bit lighter of the blends and a little bit darker, and then the other goat. So depending on what set of cards you get from me this month, you might get this goat or you might get that goat from me that way too. So let me get turned around here and explore. Green kind of disappeared on me. There we go. So that is card number 1. Then card number 1 out of 10 for my April set of 10. Thank you, Lynette. Lynette's one that I got to spend quite a bit of good time with this past weekend. And so how you can get my set of 10 for April, and I might even do more than 10 cards. You'll still get 10, so you get like a combination. So depending on how much time I have to do my videos, sometimes April I do more videos, more cards, because I want to get through the list of things that are retiring. So like last year, I remember doing about 15 cards, and then you'll just get a combination of 10 of them that way. So how you get the set of 10 is if you are interested in placing an order, just place an order using the special host code. That's pinned to the top, or it's on my page already. but I will also post it with a still shot of the card, and tomorrow I'll have it on my desktop too. And if you're not interested in ordering or placing an order of $75 right now, you can just say, hey Belle, I want your set of 10 cards, and then you can get those for $25, and I mail those out unless you're in the area. So Linda's inspired. She said she needs to get her goat stamps out, which is great. I think we all kind of do that. You get something new and put things aside, but it was fun to get these little goats out because they are a favorite, and I know many of you ordered them, so it was fun to choose that for your demo today. So take care, Weston, say bye. He's so shy but wants to be on the camera, right? See you guys tomorrow afternoon. Take care.